Hi dear students, we are going to continue multiplying with decimals. Here 700 times 80, they're not decimal number, but to remind us about how to multiply with decimal. Also, it's going to be example for the others. Okay, firstly, let me tell you this information, brief information about the multiplying the 2 or 3 digit numbers. We were doing like this, let's say 12 times 24. When we say we need to multiply all the numbers of 24, all the digits of 24 by 12, all the digits of 12 also. So 4 times 2 we were doing 4 times 1, 2 times 1, 2 times 1 we were doing, and we were writing the results here. Then we were adding them and we were finding the result. But if the numbers with 0, we are not dealing about that one. Only we are now multiplying the numbers without 0. Then we are adding the zeros to the end, like this one. 7 times 6, it's going to be equal to 7 times 8, 7 times 8, it's equal to 56. Then there are 3 zeros here, 1, 2, 3, 0. So I'm going to add to the end that 3 0. There is 1, 2, and 3 zeros, and I'm going to add that one to the end. Okay, what we are going to do here, like I said before, like there is no 0 in the question, first we are going to multiply 4 and 6. So the answer is going to be 4 times 6. 4 times 6. 24. Then firstly you are going to add the zeros, then you are going to add the decimal point. I'm going to add zeros, then I'm going to put the decimal point. What does it mean to put the decimal point? Totally in both number, how many zeros we have, that much you are going from the left right, from left to right you are going to count, and that place you are going to put the decimal point. So we have only one decimal point here. From this side to this side I'm counting, and I'm going to put the decimal point here. So it's going to be 240.0, which is equal to 240 also. This is the last exercise, and I'm going to explain, I think we are going to understand with this exercise better. Firstly, if there is decimal numbers, 2 decimal numbers like this, we are going to multiply them, but we are going to multiply only without this, like there's no decimal. I mean here, 15 times 6. Firstly, we are going to multiply because 15 is the first one, second one is the 6, without decimal point, and it's going to be equal to 90. And I'm writing the 90 here. This part is important. Listen carefully now, this part. Here, there are, after the decimal point, we have 2 numbers here, 1 and 2. And here, we have also 2 decimal numbers. So, how many decimal numbers after the decimal point? 1, 2, 3, and 4. Totally, there are 4 decimal numbers. So, from the beginning, I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, and 4 it's going to be. And I'm going to put the decimal point here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So, our number, it's going to be 0 point. There are 4 decimal numbers. So this part I'm going to fill with this number. So the answer it's going to be, I'm going to fill with zeros, and the number it's going to be equal to 0.0090, or when you have the decimal number, in decimal numbers at the end, if you have 0, you may cancel that 0. Also it can be like the 0.009 it can be. Now we are going to continue with exercises. Here these are the first exercises that I showed. So only we are going to multiply the numbers without 0. Then we are going to add the zeros to the end. If I multiply the first one from the first workout, the first one is 30 times 60. So 3 times 6 it's going to be 18. Totally there are 2 zeros. So I'm going to add that 2 zeros to the end. Or I can solve here the F1, because the exercises are very easy for you. You can do by yourself at home. So 6 times 7, it's equal to 42. and then you are going to add 1, 2, 3, 4, 0 to the end. 1, 2, 3, 4, 0 to the end. So 420,000 it's going to be. Okay, now one integer with decimal number you are multiplying. I said, like in the previous page, like there is no decimal number. 4 and 2 you are multiplying. For the first one I'm doing this one. 400 times 0.2, it's going to be equal to, like there is no decimal number, you are putting the 4 times 2, it's equal to 8. Then you are adding the zeros of the non-decimal number, so it is integer now. So 400 has 2 0, I'm adding 2 0 to the end. Then we are coming to decimal step. How many decimal numbers you have? Only one decimal number we have here. So from left to right we are counting, and we are putting our decimal point to the first place. So because there is only one number, so 80.0, it's going to be, this is equal to 80. Also there is another method for that one. In the class I will explain. 800 times 0.7, it's going to be equal to 800 times 0.7, it's equal to 56. 8 times 7, it's going to be equal to 56. 56, and there is 1 0 here. I took mix with the decimal. 80 times 0.7. The 87 times 8, it's equal to 56. There are 2 zeros I'm writing, and now I came to decimal step. There's only one decimal number, so I'm going to move left to right. Here it's going to be, and I'm going to put the place, and it's equal to 560. So 1 zeros we are eliminating. We can eliminate one of the 0. This was the C, and I'm going to solve one more. The H one I'm solving. H is equal to 25 times 0.4. It's going to be equal to 0.4. 4 times 25, it's equal to 100. But there is one decimal number, so that decimal number it's going to affect here, which is equal to 10.0, and it becomes 10. Okay, let's continue with this type of exercises if there are two of the number is decimal number. In this case, as I explained before, firstly we are going to multiply, like there is no decimal number, 0.25 times 0.2, like there's no decimal number, 25 times 2, it's going to make 50. Okay, then we are going to start to count how many decimal numbers here, how many decimal numbers here in the second one, here 1, 2, and this is the third one, so 1, 2, 3. So from the beginning I'm starting to count to left side, 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to put the decimal point here. That's why the answer it's going to be equal to 0. Actually, let me change the color. It's going to be equal to 0.050. Let me do another exercise for this one. Here it's going to be 0.32 times, or let's say 0.0 E1. Let me solve. This is the A1, this is the E1. 0.02 times 0.03, which is equal to 2 times 3, it's equal to 6. But we have the problem here, there are 4 decimal digits, so from left to right, when I start to count 1, 2, 3, and 4, to this place I'm going to put the decimal point. Again, I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, because totally there are here, 2 here, 2 here, 2 plus 2, there are 4 decimal digits we have. 4 decimal digits. So the answer is going to be equal to 0. We are going to fill all these places with zeros because the decimal point is here. So the answer is 0.0006 going to be. Okay. Let's continue with the fourth exercises. These are the new exercise type for us. Only we are going to be careful about the numbers like 48 or 12 divided by 0.2. Here we don't have 0. Divided by 0.2 means 12 divided by 0.2. And we were solving this kind of questions in the previous in decimal division. We made like this. These are, I think, mixed exercises because some of them division, some of them multiplication. We will solve the others in the class. This is the fourth one, A. This is the third one, A and E. Okay. Then 12 divided by, if you remember, we were multiplying both of them by 10. 12 times 10, it's equal to 120. 0.2 times 10, it's going to be equal to 2. The answer is going to be equal to 60. Or here, this exercise in the previous page I solved, that's why I'm not going to continue. What I want to solve, these are 48 divided by 20. 48 divided by 20. If you want to make this one decimal number, you should write down in terms of 10. So I'm going to divide, normally both of them, they are divisible by 4 maybe, but I'm not going to divide by 4, only I'm going to divide by 2, because when I divide by 2, I'm going to get the denominator 10. So when I divide by 2, it's going to be 10. When I divide by, it's going to be 24. Now, when the number divided by 10, you are adding from left to right, you are counting how many zeros you have, that much you are counting, and you are putting the decimal point to that place. So if there is 1 0, I'm counting from left to right 1 unit, then I'm putting my decimal point. I mean like this. 24 first I'm writing, there is 1 decimal here, so 1 decimal, it's going to be here, and the answer is going to be equal to 2.4. To remind you about this fact. Okay.